Hello, my name is Carol, and I want to reflect on what I did this past semester in Core 102. Starting with the first goal, Radford students will be able to prepare coherent and well-written essays that effectively integrate material from a variety of sources. For the first goal, I wrote in my approaches to oral argument paper about someone else's video in a structured manner that included pieces of information that I thought should have been included in the video. In my paper, I wrote, presentational aid is important for the viewer because if the audience cannot understand him clearly, then the visual aid would have helped understand it even more. With our second goal, Radford students will be able to deliver an effective and organized oral presentation and appropriately communicate in interpersonal and small group settings. The second goal applies to the speech I did. Jonah was assigned to critique my video to give any suggestions as to what I should try to do better for my final video. In the video, I was speaking about the interaction I had with the core professor, and to Jonah's critique, he suggested that most of the time I delivered effective techniques in language, but mostly lacked in intonation. He says intonation is commonly referred as to the rise or fall of someone's voice. So he also mentioned that Carol, who had presented this information, lacked the intonation in her voice. Instead, she was being found monotone as she spoke. With our third goal, Radford students will learn to distinguish knowledge from opinion, challenge ideas, and develop reasonable strategies for belief formation. For the third goal, assignments that illustrate the idea would be our researched argument, which I have right here. We used our majors and had to find which core skill, like critical thinking, research, writing, and oral communication, was most actively used in our major. Being in political science, there was one specific skill that is used most: critical thinking. Critical thinking is the most important than other skills because we use it to make ideas of how our political system should be. Critical thinking develops ideas not only for ourselves but when informing others. It gives them the options needed. Political science does involve critical thinking all around because politics is rooted from the ideas and thoughts of leaders. In all, political science does use all four skills, but critical thinking, it has its main focus. Lastly, with our fourth goal, Radford students will be able to locate, evaluate, and cite information. For my fourth goal, APA has been reinforced this semester in Core 102. That helped me better understand what I had to do when giving credit to someone, not only for Core but in other classes as well. This semester, I also used basic research techniques to locate information with the help of the library workshop days. For example, I learned how to create research questions, identify keywords that would help me in my assignments in the future. When critically evaluating sources in my approaches to oral argument paper, by citing specific sources onto paper with certain format. For example, for the video speech that we were given, there was certain criteria that had to be put in APA. And with the help of Core 101 and 102, I now know how to use APA format correctly for all my classes.